what are you going to do with Antonio Brown and this Facebook Live situation? Do you feel like that'll factor into him in the way he plays at all?
I don't think so. I mean, I think Antonio Brown's the kind of guy that when the lights go on Sunday, he's going to show up and he's going to play very well. I think the matchup is more of a problem than anything happening in the locker room or off the field. I mean, Malcolm Butler is a good corner, and the Patriots' track record of slowing down opposing teams' top receivers is really good. It's one thing that Matt Patricia and Bill Belichick have done really well together is they'll limit the options of the opposition. For a team like Pittsburgh, especially, I don't really like their secondary receivers that much. It's Eli Rogers and Sammy Coates, a lot of guys that have been inconsistent all year. So I think by taking Brown away, the Patriots are going to do a lot to really funnel touches to Le'Veon Bell, which is why I'm so high on Bell, and avoiding Brown has nothing to do with the Facebook Live controversy for me.
Okay, so who are your three wide receivers?
Well, I had to go cheap with the Le'Veon Bell lineup, of course, but Randall Cobb's only 5,900. He's cheaper than Devontae Adams again. The full point PPR aspect of DraftKings, of course, makes that much more viable. With Julio Jones dinged up, Mohamed Sanu becomes even more interesting. But even if Julio's out there drawing attention away, the Green Bay secondary is just so porous that a guy like Sanu should cost a little more than 4,500. So I feel like he's a pretty good bargain this weekend. And then Chris Hogan, 3,900, is heavily involved in the matchup last week against Houston. I know Julian Edelman was the better play, but dollar for dollar at 3,900, I think you're getting pretty good value on Hogan this week. Martellus Bennett is a little bit dinged up at the tight end spot as well. So I think as your secondary options go for the New England offense, I think Chris Hogan could once again have an elevated role and perhaps will even do more than he did last week against Houston.
All right, in terms of tight ends, Jared Cook is usually a value pick. You usually go bargain shopping and get him there at a great price, but he's the most expensive tight end this week, and this is what you get when you're involved in a half Mary with Aaron Rodgers, right? So who are you going with at tight end?
I do want to play Cook at 5,100. I was able to get him into the Le'Veon Bell lineup. If I weren't going to play him, if I couldn't afford him because maybe I upgraded one of those three receivers we were talking about, Martellus Bennett, even though he's dinged up at 3,300, is a bargain. I think the key is keeping an eye on his practice status, both for Thursday and Friday, just to see if he's able to get back out there. He's in the injury report right now with a knee injury. It's not really clear if it's serious. So if Bennett is able to go, Bennett at 3,300 is my first choice pivot. But Jared Cook, as we've seen since he's been healthy in the second half, has been a vital part of that Green Bay offense. And in a game last week where they didn't have Jordy Nelson, the Cowboys didn't really have an answer in their secondary for that group of pass catchers. I think Cook was a big part of the reason